So if you think about it from this perspective, whenever you see the prices going up at the supermarket or the cost of insurance or vehicles or whatever it is, and they think, oh man, my assets are rising or my stock portfolio is going up, you actually need to consider that maybe the intrinsic value of these items are not going up or the stock market is not actually going up. It's truly the value of your dollar is going down. So the value of your actual product may not actually be getting more expensive. It's that the value of your dollar is diluting. It's getting smaller and smaller each and every year because we are purchasing and we're borrowing money in the future in order to pay for things today, which again, like I said, is candidly, Uncle Sam's not very good at the debt game either. But inflation is not necessarily a bad thing if you're on one side of the coin. Again, using debt to purchase assets. And I'll give you an example. Most people that are poor, like I mentioned, I'm talking about Dave Ramsey, it's not directed at you, but what they'll do is they say, save your money for something in the future. Saving money can be the most foolish thing that a person can do. Because imagine this for a second. I mean, imagine that, your grandmother. My grandma used to do this when I was turning, 4 or 5 years old, right? She'd give me a $50 treasury bond, right? Or a $100 treasury bond. And you'd go put that bad boy underneath in the shoebox under your bed. Can you, $100 when I was 5 years old, maybe it was a little, maybe it was a lot, depending on who it was. But $100 was $100. $100 today, the value of that dollar has just completely diluted compared to what it was 30 years ago, okay? And so what I'm getting at is poor people that were saving $100 then and people saving $100 now, the purchasing power has shrunk so much. But here's the kicker. If you're a wealthy person, you're using someone else's money to buy assets. Imagine what the rent was on that same house 30 years ago. If my grandmother, instead of buying me a treasury bond, she would have put it as a down payment on a piece of rental property, right? That's kind of comical to say. But the rent of property, call it $1,000 30 years ago on some single family house in Kokomo, Indiana, was $500, right? Call it that for a single family house. The rent on that same property today literally might be $1,500. It might have doubled or tripled at this point. And so what I'm getting at is even though the value of the piece of property might still be the same, the cost to rent, the cost to own, the cost to purchase has basically tripled on paper simply because the value of the dollar has decreased even though the asset remains the same. So the problem is that the people that are saving money get burned in the long term, and the people that are using debt or purchasing assets and letting inflation increase the value of their assets are the ones that are going to be the winners at the end of the day.